Hey, this is Jason Yeagley, middle school principal, and I am sitting here with Mrs. Ginocchi. Mrs. Ginocchi is a teacher that you will have as a fifth grader, and she teaches fifth grade STEM. It's part of your four-pack, and we're going to get to know her and her class a little better. So let's start off with how long, Mrs. Ginocchi, have you been teaching here at West Branch?
Long time, and that would be 35 years.
Wow, that is a long time. That is a long time. So, and you've played different roles within the 35 years. Let's hop over to tell us a little bit, during those 35 years, obviously a lot of people have got to know you. Many of the students are going to have parents that potentially had you or your husband, Mr. Joe Ginocchi. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live in Columbiana. I've made this drive for about 35 years.
Yeah.
I drive to work. It takes around 35 minutes to get to work. As you know, my husband taught here, Mr. Joe Ginocchi.
Yeah.
And I have a son, Mike. We have a son, Michael, and he is a senior at Westminster, majoring in communication, sports, broadcasting. And we have a dog, Roxy, and that's probably about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I definitely know Mr. Ginocchi. He was my teacher in middle school. And of course, a lot of people have had both of you or a combination. And I do wish your son good luck in his senior year. And obviously,
Thank you.
media is awesome. And of course, dogs are awesome too. So let's hop over to what can kids expect to be doing in your class in general? I know there's a lot of stuff. What are just some general things you would say?
Well, it's hands-on learning is basically the basis of the class. And I broke my class into three segments. Challenges will be given to the students, learning how to think critically, think kind of outside that box, training their thinking skills. Then we will move into projects. Fifth grade this year, I'm excited that one of the projects they'll be learning is I try to work collaboratively with the science teachers. And one of the projects we're going to be doing is on energy, and we're going to be looking at potential and kinetic using creating a Newton's cradle. So I'm really excited about that. And then obviously the final part of this class is learning how to 3D print using a program called, it's a CAD program called Fusion 360, where students will learn how to draw in CAD and then actually produce their drawing in a 3D print.
Yeah. So that sounds awesome. I know that kids, when I ask them, I've yet to find a kid that did not enjoy STEM. It's very hands-on. And also you guys are really like Mrs. Ginocchi's enthusiasm. I will mention one time I saw her running across the table singing about, I think she was singing about potential energy. So pay close attention and you might see her kind of hop up on a desk and start singing a little tune. So that was inside class. Let's talk a little bit about outside. Can kids expect, some homework, no homework, a lot of homework? What's that look like for STEM 5?
Well, for STEM 5 in a project-based classroom, most of the projects and, like I said, all the activities are done within the class setting. However, I do give them what it's called think homework, where kids I give them some exercises to teach them to kind of think differently, think outside the box. So it's really not a pencil paper type of a homework, but it's really looking at things differently and how things that maybe you could reuse something or be innovators, creators, kind of like that Shark Tank idea.
Right. Yeah. So maybe you give them an idea or something to think about, and they might want to solve that. They might bring in a milk container or, some caps and stuff like that. So, but not a traditional, like writing out things or typing out things.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What are a few tips that you would give to parents and students, that they could do well in your class? A couple of things to get them going.
Well, I would say that, come to class on time. Being punctual is important. Also being respectful. And, we do a lot of group work. And sometimes they may not like somebody in their group. I try to teach them skills on how to work collaboratively, try to get along, for the betterment of their project.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing. And it is kind of challenging for fifth graders to learn this.
Mhm.
But I have seen progress in this over the years, and I'm excited for our students to learn this way.
Yeah. Awesome. So those are great tips. And of course, I'm going to add one that I know that you'll probably definitely shake your head and agree with me. You know, this is about the time where so far in all these interviews, I have said that nearly the same thing. You know, having kids here and being in attendance at school is so very important for all classes, and that's going to include STEM. You know, Mrs. Ginocchi cannot simulate pretty much everything that she does in class. She can't do anything like that at home at all. So,
Right.
you know, when
Right.
kids are absent, I know it just puts them in a really hard, and I know kids get sick. We all understand, you know, I have kids, she has a son, you know, so we know that, but being at school is a huge plus factor for sure. So,
Right, for
hey,
sure.
my last question is probably going to be an easy one for a, you know, a veteran teacher like you. And it's, what do you love about teaching here at West Branch?
That's a really easy question. And I've had opportunities to go elsewhere, and I've always been drawn back here.
Mhm.
It's easy. It's our students, our staff, our community. Um, I don't live in the community, but I've always felt being a part of this community,
Mhm.
and what great people we have here, and how our students are raised by the people that we have in our community. And that's why that it's kept me here all
Yeah.
these years. It's our
Yeah.
students, staff, community.
Yeah, and I would agree. I've been around some other districts, and that I cannot, you know, stress your answer. That's a great way to approach it. And, um, you know, I know you do a lot in the schools, and I know you're going to have a great year. You did not mention cheerleading, but you've been a
I
cheerleading coach for how
didn't.
long?
I forgot.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? When I got the job here, they needed a cheerleading coach. So most people would do that probably maybe a couple years, 5 max, but it stuck with me for the 35 years.
Yeah, they're all 35. She is the head honcho for, you know, cheerleading, varsity cheerleading, all things cheerleading. So we just want to thank you for everything. Parents are, you know, and students are in for a treat with your class this year. And again, thanks a lot for your time, and we will talk to
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Thank you. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors.